Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go, this is Valley News Live at 5.
Large hail coming down in Carrington as a potentially powerful storm moves through the area. Meanwhile, it's the calm before the storm for us here in the FM Metro and those of you in Lakes Country as ominous clouds are moving in right now. Severe weather is making its way from Minot as we speak and possibly bringing damaging wind gusts and large hail. We're going to check in with meteorologist Nathan Hopper right away to learn more about the timing of the system. Nathan?
Yeah, a very active situation here for our Monday evening for our Labor Day, of course, an important holiday for travel and for outdoor activities. The big picture shows a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for most of the FM Metro area. This is up and down the Red River Valley, even extending into Detroit Lakes and Fergus Falls. But we do have a severe thunderstorm warnings in effect all the way from areas near Findlay and Cooperstown down toward Valley City. And then Marion is also in that severe thunderstorm warning, including areas like Edgeley, Lemoore also in this severe thunderstorm warning. We do have a storm chaser, Eric Whitehill, who is in Valley City, who's waiting for this storm's arrival. This is the primary concerns with this warning, both of these warnings, is wind gusts upwards of 80 miles per hour in some locations and hail an inch or greater in diameter with, of course, 80 mile per hour winds. A great time to be indoors if you're in areas like Cooperstown, Findlay, even areas toward Page. Wimbledon is now in the clear. Things have moved clear of Wimbledon, but Jamestown is seeing the hardest of this right now. And Valley City also is heading toward Valley City very quickly. The storm is moving at 45 to 50 miles per hour toward the south and East Alfred. Now is time to make plans to get inside your home because 80 mile per hour wind gusts are possible with this line of storms as it pushes quickly. Look how quickly that's moving quickly toward the south and east at 45 to 50 miles per hour. Of course, I'll keep watching this for you for this evening, and we'll have the latest coming up in a couple minutes when we talk more about the timing of when it can impact Fargo. Again, that's in just a couple minutes.
Okay, thank you, Nathan.
It just went bang, and it was really loud. You know, people across over there heard it, and it was just crazy. I thought somebody was getting shot at or something.
It's still unknown what led to a large fire at a Hillsboro garage late Sunday night. Fire crews were called to the 200 block of Caledonia Avenue around 10 after a garage started on fire, eventually catching 2 sheds and a car in the flames as well. There were no injuries and the fire was put out before it could spread to the home or any other buildings. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with neighbors in the area today who say they're just glad no one was hurt.
We heard a kind of a boom, and we seen flames way up high and by the trees.
I looked outside and there was orange over here, and their shed was on fire, and then it quickly spread to their garage and then their front shed. Then it got in the tree a little bit.
As flames engulfed what once stood as a garage and 2 sheds, neighbors were taking cover and moving their vehicles out of harm's way.
The cops told us that we need to go away because there's a car in that garage that could explode.
They were really concerned because there's right behind that fence, there's a propane tank. And so we were afraid that if it got on the propane tank, that the whole area would be on fire.
Levick tells me it took almost 45 minutes for crews to officially put the fire out, saying multiple mini fires and explosions continued popping up. And despite multiple calls, Trail County officials were not able to tell me today what exactly caused the fire or the amount of damage it caused.
They're lucky it wasn't super windy. It could have been way worse. It could have spread to other houses. You know, there's a house just right next door that it could got to.
And he's right. As bad as the fire was and the damage looks, there were no injuries, and the home on Caledonia Avenue remained untouched by the flames.
It is very sad, but I'm glad everyone's okay. You know, they have some dogs and a couple kids, and the parents themselves, you know, it was scary.
In Hillsboro, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Trail County officials say they will release more information on the fire tomorrow. Authorities in Jamestown want to alert you about a mentally unstable man on the loose. Officials say the man is on foot and was last seen wearing a tie-dye shirt, jeans, and a black jacket with a floral pattern. Deputies are currently searching the Cleveland and Windsor area. He is not believed to be dangerous, but if you do see him, you're urged to call police. New information on a Minnesota grandmother accused of killing her husband in their home and a woman she met in Florida. Information from search warrants executed in the 2 months after the April 2018 shooting death of David Reese in Blooming Prairie says deputies found the victim dead and covered with a blanket after his business partner asked them to check in on him. He had not been seen in Reese in 16 days and says Lois texted them that David was on a fishing trip, was sick, and that they should not bother him at the house. The search warrants say Reese was killed by multiple shots from a .22 caliber gun. Police say testing confirms the gun found in Lois Reese's hotel room was the one used to kill David. The documents don't reveal any other possible motive beyond the more than $10,000 in business checks belonging to her husband that Lois is charged with illegally cashing. She's accused of killing Pamela Hutchinson in Florida 13 days later, court records say, to steal her identity. Lois was the subject of a nationwide manhunt and was caught by U.S. Marshals in South Padre Island, Texas, a few weeks after the murders. The youngest survivor of the Odessa shooting rampage, a 17-month-old little girl, is out of the hospital this evening. Shelby Landgraf sat down with the toddler's parents who reflect on the horrifying moments but also share their gratitude.
Probably the number one thing people will tell you is that she's smiling and happy.
At almost a year and a half old, hopefully Anderson will have no lasting memories of Saturday's shooting rampage.
It really happened so fast. I didn't know which direction they were coming from, what was really going on.
I knew that we had been shot, but it never dawned on me that one of us would be hit. So I actually just thought, how can I cover both of these babies at one time?
Anderson and her twin brother were strapped into their car seats for a normal trip to the grocery store when a gunshot hit their SUV at this intersection.
Within seconds, I looked at Anderson and she was just covered in blood, so much blood. I mean, you couldn't even see her face. Anderson
was hit in the mouth and in the chest. As Kelby and Garrett Davis were screaming for help, off-duty paramedics rushed in.
Angels are everywhere. Some men are in my window and they're saying, "Kelby, it's me. Kelby, it's me."
Paramedics and all the first responders, their training is just absolutely amazing. They are truly the calm in the midst of the storm.
Quickly, Anderson was air flighted to a Lubbock hospital for emergency treatment. She's since been released and is now back home in Odessa.
I'm so grateful Anderson is here. I'm so thankful that we're not one of those families that's on the other side of this, and it makes you feel guilty almost. That's how I just have to remind myself that God does not cause tragedies like this, but God's going to walk through all of us.
It's the Davises' strong Christian faith and their love for their hometown of Odessa that's carrying them through.
That's why we're proud of this town and the people in it, because they rally and they come together, and bad things are going to happen no matter where you live. But we know that here, this is our home and this is where our support system is, and it's made all the difference in this situation.
Officials say along with the 17-month-old child, there were also 3 police officers who were among the injured. Meanwhile, multiple people are dead and dozens are still missing after a diving boat was engulfed in flames off of Santa Cruz Island this morning. The 75-foot commercial scuba diving vessel caught on fire around 3:30. Fire crews were sleeping on the top deck with 34 passengers sleeping below deck. Those passengers have not yet been accounted for. The Coast Guard sent rescuers to the boat after they said more than 30 people were in distress. Officials say 4 people have been found dead and more than a dozen are still missing. An investigation is underway after more than a dozen geese carcasses were found in a ditch in the FM area. Officials say the carcasses were found along a busy road in Oakport Township, Minnesota. Canada goose hunting season is open in some parts of North Dakota, but this season didn't start in Minnesota until Sunday. The carcasses were found back in August. Officials with the Minnesota DNR say it is not illegal to dump the carcasses, but it is considered littering. Olive Garden is hitting the road again this year to deliver meals to first responders who are on duty this Labor Day holiday. Delivery drivers from more than 850 restaurants will cater complimentary lunches. It's a chain restaurant's way to say thank you and give back to those who protect and serve us every day. On the menu today, fettuccine Alfredo, spaghetti and meatball salad, and of course, their infamous breadsticks. Calling all meat lovers, there's a food event in Winona, Minnesota made just for you. At the 4th annual Big Muddy Brew and Q that's held every year in Winona, fans got a chance to see a performance by some local Minnesota artists. Winona's best barbecue was also decided in a competition yesterday. On top of that, there was a celebrity rib eating contest, which featured competitors such as Winona's mayor, the deputy sheriff, and local business leaders.
That was a lot of fun. There was smoked at the store. The winning rib count was 14 ribs in 12 minutes. It was just an absolute fun event.
The event runs every year and is free to attend. Hurricane